Welcome back. The next component here in this grab bag of components is called the breadcrumb or breadcrumbs. I almost never use these, but they could come in handy. So I am showing them because I want to be comprehensive here. So it's probably the shortest page on the documentation. It's super simple. If you're not familiar with the term breadcrumb, it's sort of like a navigational history of how you got to where you are on a given page. So something like this, where you could have just the home if you're on the home page. If you're on library, it could show home/library, home/library/data. So sometimes you would see this on a website for navigation, but also file structures on your computer. I don't use it very often. So I'm going to show it to you though. What you do is you make a nav. It doesn't have to be a nav, but that makes sense for it to be a nav item. And ARIA label breadcrumb is to help screen readers. And then an OL, an ordered list, because this is ordered content. And you give it class equals breadcrumb. And then for each item in there, it's breadcrumb-item. And then you could give it an active class. And that's honestly all that there is to it. So if we want to make one right now, we can just do nav. And this technically is not mandatory to make it work, but it's important to have all these ARIA attributes there for screen readers. So we put breadcrumb there with 3 B's somehow. Okay, and then inside we'll do an OL with the class of breadcrumb. So this is just to get the Bootstrap styling. And then an LI with the class of breadcrumb item. I need a B there. And each one of those will have something. So let's do, home, library, users, and you'll see that it automatically adds the slashes in for us. And instead of users, let's do yang. Okay, so I need to open this up. And right now I haven't given the class active to any of them. But this is what we get. It automatically puts the correct number of slashes in there. And often you might want these to be links. So you can do that as well. Right now it's just showing, this is where we are. But if you want these all to be links, then you just put a link inside of the LI, like you see here. But an important thing, so we can make one of them active by giving it the class active. It's not a huge difference, honestly. Let's try it up here. So you would never have this scenario, hopefully, where you're showing yang, but this is the current page. It's usually the last thing that you're on. So I'll go back to having it on yang, and you can make these links. But what I wanted to point out is that there's this attribute, ARIA current equals page. And this is a way of telling screen readers that this is referring to the current item. So this active class is purely visual. So this tells the screen reader, all right, this is the current thing. If you can't see this, how it's subtly grayed out, then we put this attribute in there to make it clear. ARIA-current equals page, and we save. So instead of this, we could put an anchor tag in here and have that say home, put an anchor tag, and so on for library and users. And there we go. And that's it for breadcrumbs. So you don't have to do anything. I guess technically it's not it because you can change the separator in Sass, but we're not working with that right now. But if you wanted to change it to be this greater than symbol, you could do that. Okay, so that's breadcrumbs. Simplest thing that we'll see probably in the entire course, but also not very commonly used in my experience. All right, next up, we're talking about button groups.